Alors, bonjour Sixth Form et bienvenue au troisième cours de révision pour un sac de billes. Alors donc, avant de commencer, comme toujours, assurez que vous avez complété les activités de pré-lecture, toutes les choses qu'il faut lire avant de faire le cours. Alors, je vais continuer en anglais. I know there's a lot of reading this week and it's a bit more left field. It might not quite be linked and you might be reading it and thinking, I'm not sure how to link this to the idea of childhood and to Bildungsroman, but it really matters today. Make sure you do the reading because this lesson will be a complete waste of your time if you've not done the reading, you've not made notes, you've not thought deeply about it. If you've done all that reading, this lesson will put it all together and get you ready for this really important lesson today. So, let's get going everyone. Donc, vous savez ce qu'il faut faire. Il faut inventer la date et s'il vous plaît, copiez le titre du genre pour moi, Sac de Bill Révision Bildungsroman. Et ici, vous avez quelques phrases clés. Mettez-moi sur pause et essayez de traduire toutes les phrases ici. Courage, hein? Alors, on commence. Right, guys, so you should be ready. You should have done your post-it note control. Let me talk about today then. We're talking about Bildungsroman, which you must be thinking, easy. If I got that question about Bildungsroman on the exam, I'd smash it. But be careful. It is so easy to say. In the first 3 chapters, Joe is evidently really childlike, whereas at the end, he's an adult and this shows a coming-of-age book. Done. That ain't good enough. It's not good enough for A-level. There's so much more you can say and so many other things you need to bring in to go beyond that. Otherwise, you're at risk of making your essay sound too basic and not analytical enough. But don't worry, after today and after your reading, you'll be able to throw in all these other things. So always remember when it comes to your essay, don't be simplistic. Put as much as you can. Drag in other themes, drag in other details. Talk about how that relates to your title. This is what it's all about. After today, we'll be able to do that. We're going to look at some quotes on it. Mais avant tout ça, le vocabulaire, c'est essentiel. We've talked already about the vocabulary and the importance of it. Let's see how you've got on with these tests today. Alors donc, le contrôle de vocabulaire. Now, all of these start with the image because we're talking about some images today to look at some specific parts of the book and to discuss them. But you can change the image and all of these set phrases with la citation ou l'extrait. Donc, using that means you can put all of these phrases into your essay. So, let's go through it. The image shows us that. L'image nous montre que, ou la citation nous montre que. This image brings to light. Cette image met en lumière. Numéro 3, this image is a good illustration of. Cette image illustre bien. Et finalement, the image underlines the importance of, like that one. Cette image marque l'importance de. Beautiful. We need to use these today with our first task. Mais avant tout ça, let's have a look. So I've said this in the introduction. When you look at a task on Bildungsroman, it is easy. You know what to say, right? Be careful. It is so simple to be repetitive and simple and not be analytical enough and to lose big marks when it comes to this. So these are the 3 questions I want you to think about. First one, what secondary themes linked to this idea of Bildungsroman? What else can you add? What else is going in the book that will help you show your knowledge of your book, but also help your analysis more? Second, what characters can be used to show it? So what key characters, big or small, can you use and you pick on to make your work stand out? Who can you talk about? The examiner will think, oh, that is interesting, they've used that person, or they've picked up on that to show how good and analytical you are. And then finally, writing style. We talk about this every time, but no one ever comments on it on their essays. You're studying a book, you're talking about literature, talk about the writing style. It's an open goal today, this question. We're going to have a little look at it together. On commence avec les photos aujourd'hui. J'ai choisi les images tout au long du roman et ce qu'il faut faire aujourd'hui. Ici, j'ai les thèmes secondaires intéressants et utiles pour aujourd'hui. Et ici, j'ai les images. Alors donc, qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire? Il faut lier l'image avec le thème correct ici. Donc ici, on a l'étude des thèmes. Ceci en bleu, c'est les thèmes secondaires. En rouge, c'est le thème clé de Bildungsroman. Alors donc, avec chaque photo, liez ça avec l'un des thèmes clés. Et expliquez qu'est-ce que l'image nous montre. Pourquoi est-ce que j'ai choisi à discuter ces images aujourd'hui? C'est quoi la signification? Et finalement, comment est-ce que le thème secondaire, qui sont les thèmes en bleu, hein, comment est-ce que les thèmes secondaires ici contribuent au thème de Bildungsroman? Comment? explique-moi, faire la ligne entre le thème secondaire et Bildungsroman. Alors donc, I want you to do this for all the pictures today. Just spend your time. You don't have to write a lot. You don't have to think a lot. Just go through it. You do have to think a lot. Go through them and see what does it match to, what secondary one, what one in blue, and then how does that link to Bildungsroman? Why have I chosen these today? Pause me now, spend 10 minutes thinking about this. On the next few slides, I'm going to talk through what I think. Et voilà, donc celui-ci, c'est ce que j'ai lié entre les thèmes secondaires. N'inquiétez pas si vous avez choisi les thèmes différents. Ce n'est pas grave, hein, il y a les autres idées. Toutes les idées sont importantes, donc n'inquiétez pas pour ça. Je vais expliquer pourquoi j'ai lié cet thème avec cette image ici en français. Donc écoutez-moi bien. Le premier image, c'est Zerati, le meilleur ami de Joe dans les premiers chapitres, et il échange un sac de billes pour l'étoile jaune. Alors, c'est l'exemple idéal qui nous montre le thème secondaire de innocence et naïveté dans le roman. Ce sont les enfants. Pourquoi? Alors, parce que Zerati ne comprend pas la signification de l'étoile jaune. Il pense que c'est quelque chose de cool et il échange une sac de billes pour ça. Cela nous montre que les enfants sont innocents ici. La deuxième chose, Joe, un autre exemple, est que Joe ne comprend pas le fait qu'il est juif. Il dit dans les premiers chapitres, qu'est-ce que c'est un juif? J'ai un pif comme tous les autres, donc le juif, ce n'est pas moi. Donc ceci nous montre l'innocence et la naïveté. Pour ajouter à cela, pensez de défis additionnels. Le fait que le vocabulaire dans le livre et le style, c'est direct et c'est facile et c'est comme les enfants. Alors donc, tout le livre, c'est au travers les yeux d'un jeune Joe et la voix de narrateur nous augmente l'idée de innocence et naïveté parce qu'on lit tout au travers les yeux d'un jeune enfant. Alors donc, on peut contraster ça et comparer ça avec la fin du roman et comment il a changé. Donc, le premier sous-thème ici, quand on parle de Bildungsroman, la première idée qu'il faut expliquer est que Joe est naïf et il est innocent au début du roman et on voit ça tout au long du roman aussi. Alors donc, je vais parler de ça plus tard. La deuxième chose que j'ai choisie, c'est l'importance des jeux. Alors ici, j'ai l'exemple, je pense que c'est quand ils sont à Nice ou Menton, je sais pas quel, mais Nice, Menton, le 9e, 8e chapitre. Et donc, qu'est-ce qu'ils font à Nice et à Menton? Ils adorent y habiter parce que c'est comme si la guerre n'existe pas. Ils jouent au foot à la plage ici, ils jouent au ocelette, ce qui est, I do not know the word for it in English, ocelette, but it's like throwing sticks at things. Donc, il est encore enfant ici et il dit lui-même que c'est comme si la guerre n'existe pas. Alors donc, pensez plus profondément, le titre du roman, c'est Un sac de billes. Alors, c'est pas mon enfance pendant l'occupation, ou la peur, ou quelque chose comme ça. Le titre du roman, c'est Un sac de billes, qui est un jeu. C'est un jeu, un sac de billes. Ça, c'est la chose importante ici. Donc, le jeu, c'est important comme thème parce que cela nous montre la vie sans souci d'un enfant qui contraste avec le monde actuel. C'est le pire genre de l'humanité pendant la guerre. Les atroces ont été commis par les nazis et en fait, est-ce que Joe a peur? Non, il est comme un enfant. Et c'est exactement comme ça pour les enfants. Ils sont sans souci. À un moment, un enfant peut pleurer et peut être très triste. L'autre moment, ils sont super contents. Et ça, c'est le lot d'un enfant. Donc, le jeu ici, c'est un thème clé. Et il faut parler de ça. Et on peut mettre les deux idées ensemble. L'innocence et les jeux, ce sont les mots ensemble. Alors donc, maintenant, j'ai 3 autres thèmes à discuter. La chose la plus importante qu'on va discuter avec le Bildungsroman, c'est le fait que Joe va perdre son innocence tout au long du roman avec tous les problèmes, toutes les expériences qui passent dans le roman. Donc, la première chose, et ceci, c'est l'image, c'est quand il est à Marseille, à la gare de Marseille, qui s'appelle son châle, et il parle aux gendarmes qui cherchent les Juifs, et il dit, je suis ici avec mon père, ils disent, il est eu ton père, et Joe invente une histoire que son père est le patron du cinéma à Marseille, qu'il regarde tout le temps les films, et il dit, oh, mon père est là-bas, il va et il parle avec un homme, il demande quelle heure est-il, et l'homme est en colère, il dit, il y a un horloge là-bas, crétin, etc. Mais en faisant ça, il trompe les gendarmes et il pense qu'il est avec son père, tandis qu'en fait, il a menti. Alors donc, cela nous donne deux choses importantes avec la perte d'innocence. Alors, j'explique. Lion, in your pre-reading, they've made it a whole big thing and a whole big theme. But if you want to talk about lion in your essay, you've got to link it to the loss of innocence, and you need to make this link to the examiner. Lion is the loss of innocence because children always tell the truth. They're told to tell the truth. They're told never to lie. I mean, children lie all the time, but they're told not to lie, and they're terrible at lying. Now, the reason they're told not to lie is because that's the childish and that's the right thing to do. We've talked about this. The adults lie, yes, all the time. You look at the most powerful people, they've done the most lying. They're the most dishonest people in the planet. So you have to lie to get ahead. The other thing is, kids don't lie and they trust people. They trust adults. It's one of their basic flaws. They just trust what you say as being an adult. Whereas when you're older and wiser, you've got a natural distrust of people or things or ideas. Ça veut dire la méfiance en français. Méfier is the verb to distrust. When you're a kid, you don't have this. So it shows a real loss of innocence, that he distrusts adults, authority figures. It shows a real sort of maturity to think about this and to understand the world in a way that kids don't really. And this one here, you've got to get wise. You've got to be resourceful to survive. This is their experience now. And this is the thing when you talk about Bildungsroman. It is a coming of age book because he has to experience things that kids shouldn't experience, emotions kids shouldn't feel, that no one should feel, and he loses all the innocence he does have at the start because of the war and because of the emotion. And that's an important fact to make when you're talking about Bildungsroman, and Lion can be one way to exemplify that, to say, look, he's no longer a child. He's learning the cruel way of the world, particularly this world, which is crueler than ours, and going for it. So be careful with Lion. Make sure you make those points. Going back to what I just said, right, about what kids are meant to feel and what is acceptable in their lives and what's not, these two next sub-themes are crucial. Alors donc, écoutez-moi, ce sont d'une importance primordiale. Alors, la fuite, et ceci, c'est l'image clé. Donc ici, la personne qui a dessiné le bande dessinée a ajouté ça, parce que ce n'est pas dans le livre la réaction des parents. Avant que les deux garçons partent à Paris, c'est chapitre 3 je crois, les parents sont super contents, ils disent on veut revoir en quelques semaines, n'inquiétez pas, et toutes les choses comme ça. Mais après, ils sont évidemment tristes, et Joe et Maurice partent à l'appartement pour voyager tout au long de la France, à Dac et après à Marseille. Donc, la chose importante ici, la fuite, le fait qu'ils doivent fuir, et c'est le chat et Cerise. Pourquoi et comment lier ça à l'idée de Bildungsroman? Alors, c'est parce que, et ceci c'est la chose importante, les enfants devraient être en sécurité. Tout le monde sait ça. Les enfants ne devraient jamais être mis en danger parce qu'ils sont les enfants, ils sont innocents, ils n'ont pas les compétences de survivre tout seuls. Mais ici, ils doivent fuir et ils doivent se battre pour survivre ici. Et donc ça, c'est la chose importante. Donc si on parle de Bildungsroman, si on parle de comment on grandit pendant le livre, il faut parler de la fuite et l'idée que les petits enfants doivent quitter leurs parents et doivent survivre tout seuls sans le soutien Quel âge ont-ils? À 10 ans et 12 ans. C'est terrible. Alors donc, je peux ajouter à celui-là la peur. N'oubliez pas que la peur, c'est l'un de nos phrases clés et l'un de nos thèmes clés dont tout au long du roman, on parle du peur, du bien contre mal, etc. Alors avec la peur, c'est exactement la même chose. Regardez l'image ici et imaginez la peur que tu sentiras si tu étais là. Alors Joe et Maurice dans l'image ont été capturés par les Gestapo. C'est quand ils sont entrés dans le piège quand Ferdinand a voulu acheter les papiers falsifiés et Joe et Maurice ont été capturés, ont été enfermés dans une salle et qui arrive, mais les nazis avec les armes, etc., etc. Imaginez la peur que tu sentirais comme un petit enfant et qu'est-ce qui va te passer. C'est le moment le plus choquant dans le roman parce que pour la majorité de romans, ils sont libres les garçons et ils sont en fuite, lui, qui est difficile. Mais la peur ici, ils ont été capturés, ils sont emmenés à Hôtel Excelsior, celui-ci c'est la peur. Et encore une fois, c'est la même chose. Les enfants devraient être en sécurité et ils sont en peur d'être tués ici, d'être envoyés au camp de concentration et d'être morts en quelques années. Alors, pensez de ça, pensez des enfants. Donc, quand on parle de Bildungsroman et comment ils ont changé, c'est parce que ils ont senti les émotions que les enfants ne devraient jamais sentir. Alors donc, je vais faire une petite conclusion en anglais. So, this is the most important thing. For loss of innocence, yes, you can talk about lying, the fact that they mistrust people now, which is bad enough for a kid to learn about society and learn the horrible ways of the world, but it's worse than that. When talking about Bildungsroman, you have to talk about fleeing, the fact that they're on the run. Two kids running, hiding, lying, stealing to make sure they can get away from this. And the fear and the ideas that they must do, they've got to survive without their parents. How long at 10, 11 years old would you have given yourself? Like my sisters, like the age gap between me and my sisters about the same age as them. When my sister was in year 8 and I was in year 6, I can't see us getting very far, to be honest. So this shows the fact that the childhood is lost, that he has to develop because he's put in a more adult situation, and there's nothing more adult than fending for yourself in this world. You don't even do it now. I barely do it. So this is what it's all about. Finally, fear. This is what I talked about. Kids should be safe. Kids shouldn't have that thought of fear. And if they're in an environment, say at home, where they lived in constant fear, the government would take them away because it's a right, it's a thing that children can't live in fear. And here we are. This is their fear. They're not just afraid of being hurt. They're afraid of dying, which is the real fear. It's a threat that's coming to them, and that shows innocence lost. So talk about fear as well. Talk about the emotions of the boys, and most importantly in your essay, talk about how it makes you feel. Alors, on continuant. Right, guys, so we're going to be looking at this essay question. We're going to talk through some of the key quotes. So remember, these are the key things to think about. We've now looked at these secondary themes: lying, running away, fear. All of these things are childhood, games. All of these are secondary themes that you've still got to talk about in this essay. What characters can we use? So we're going to talk about that. Who's the ideal examples? Who, remember, is a more unusual ideal example that's going to make us stand out to the examiner rather than being the same boring thing that they read every time. And we've barely touched on writing style. I talked about it a bit in one of them, but how does that contribute to it? Alors voilà, c'est la question d'examen aujourd'hui. Donc, analyser le thème de l'enfance dans un sac de billes. Donc, avec ça, il faut faire deux choses immédiatement. Premièrement, traduisez la question, d'accord? Puis, sans penser, sans regarder, je veux que tu notes 3 idées que tu pourrais utiliser dans une réponse. Donc, faites ça immédiatement. Mettez-moi sur pause, faites 3 idées et recommence la vidéo. Alors, right guys, so your 3 ideas are there. Have a little look at them. Now be honest with yourself. Look at this yellow bit. This looks like an easy, straightforward question. Enfance, Bildungsroman, yeah? It's so easy to be repetitive. So think about it. On the 3 things that you've just bullet pointed down, have you got any of the secondary themes that we talked about in the first few activities? Have you got any of them? Have you thought about them? Think about it. So this is what you need to do. Open it up. Don't forget the contributing themes. They're so important. Alors, this is how I would answer this question. Here's the little things I've got. Okay, so try to put them together. So first off, can I talk about all these things? Yes, absolutely. So the thèmes secondaires that are important here. I want to talk about Bildungsroman and make this. So first off, innocence and naivety. That's the first point I want to make. I want to talk about the start of the books. The book's linear. I want to talk about that and go for it. Can I add in techniques here? Absolutely. We see it through Joe's eyes. How does this add to the innocence and naivety? We've talked about this already today in this video and in the last video. We see it through Joe's eyes. The way he talks is a simple, straightforward way that's in your face. They use lots of like collision when they put words together. There's like childish vocabulary. They swear, they say like tu as du beau and all this sort of thing. All of that can come in to show us that the writing technique enhances the first point. Who can we talk about? Jo is the ideal one, and also Zerati, don't forget him, absolutely ideal. Games. How can we talk about games in the theme of innocence? Kids love games, and in the book it gives us that breakup, so they're at war and it's serious, and we're on tenterhooks reading it, knowing that they're being chased by the Nazis, whereas Joe and Maurice are playing football, or they're buying a swimming costume because they're looking forward to going swimming in the sea. So this shows childhood. They forget just like children do. They're crying one minute and they're happy the next. This is shown with us. Does this give us anything else? Any other things we can talk about? Maybe you can talk about occupation and throw that in and where it was, and you learn like in the South it's run by the Italians. You can put that into this, that you learn more about this, that through childhood you learn these things. The loss of innocence. This is where you can put loads of different themes. You can put like lying, the idea that they have to se méfier, they can't trust anyone, that they're getting up to the wider world. That is the ideal thing to do. And then finally, la fuite, running away. With la fuite, you can link it to la peur as well, and you can say like they've got to run away and feel emotional things that they can't do, that they shouldn't have to do as kids. I'd round this up by saying fear, the overriding. In my conclusion I might put in hope as well, and say it's a book and theme about childhood, because in the end good defeats evil, and it's a happy ending like a childhood book. That would be a nice point, and then you could throw in the stuff about good and evil and the good people that help them, Suminagui, the priests, and all that thing. When you're assessing the theme of childhood, of course you can put that in, good versus evil. That is the fundamental for any story. All right. Donc, ce qu'il faut faire maintenant, vous savez, j'ai sélectionné les citations clés pour faire cette dissertation. Ce qu'il faut faire, avec toutes les citations, il faut décider, ils parlent de quel thème secondaire, mettez-les sur le bon sous-titre, et puis répondez à la question pour chacun. Donc, faites un petit paragraphe 1. Donc, l'innocence et naïveté, comment lier ça à l'idée de l'enfance, les jeux, etc. Et défi additionnel, c'est ici, n'oubliez pas de commenter sur la voix du narrateur et l'impact sur le thème de Bildungsroman. Alors, put me on pause, guys, work through, and then I'll talk you through some, not all of them, some of these citations, and I'll explain their significance and how I'd use them. Alors, mes petits, right, guys, let's go through all these to make sure you're ready for it. So, first one, remember, if you put these quotes in different places, not the end of the world, you can always justify yourself and go for it. First one is l'innocence et la naïveté. I've got two beautiful examples that we've already talked about. First off, Zerati, and the fact that he doesn't understand the importance of the star. And then over here, Jo se demande juif, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire d'abord? Joe doesn't even understand his background, his heritage, his identity, his religion. So these things are really show innocence. They don't understand these major concepts. First off, in society, he doesn't understand the racial laws and the implications of it. And second, just in general, Joe doesn't understand his background, family, what being a Jew is, despite the fact that surely he's been to some religious practices or had some impact on it. This shows us our real naivety and the innocence of the boys that they're going to have to very quickly lose, and they do. Et voilà, les jeux. Now the importance of les jeux. I've got 2 examples here. This is the best one, I reckon. Donc, j'ai 3 exemples ici ensemble. 3 examples together. In Marseille, they go to the cinema and they do a little boat tour. They ask to go on a boat tour. Doesn't it sound great? À Menton, they love being on the beach and they play with Virgilio and they mess about on the 1st of April. They do April Fools. All of these things give you a little brief break from the heaviness of the book, and you just see this childhood and what it is, innocent, sweet, having fun. There's little moments of the book where it goes like that. Even Joe says it was like we're on holiday when they're in Menton and it was like the war wasn't happening. All that obviously changes time and time again as that goes. So games are really important to show, link it with innocence. Games break it up and think of the bigger picture. Insect to Build, it's the name of the book, so childhood is that important in this. Alors le contraste, on a parlé beaucoup de ça et on a déjà parlé dans la classe avec les différences ici et ici. Ici c'est chapitre 1, ici c'est chapitre 10 et donc ici c'est la phrase ou la citation célèbre dans une classe. Alors donc, so when he loses his marble, Maurice cries over it and Maurice says, you're too old to be crying over a marble. Then just 9 chapters later, he finds out that his dad's died, or that he's been arrested at least here, and he said, je n'ai même pleuré. Il y a un an, j'en aurais même supporté l'idée. So he's saying that a year ago he could never have stood the idea that his dad had been captured by the Nazis, but now he's not even cried, which links into our quote, grandi, durci, changé. You can see the big difference in Joe and just how mature and battle-hardened he's become because of the events that have happened to him. Alors, et la porte de l'innocence, guys, this is really important. Remember, your kids are innocent, they're truthful, they're honest. They don't have to have the sort of the fear and the knowledge of the world. In fact, when something nasty happens, you protect kids from it because you don't want them to know, because they don't have the capacity to learn and to understand and to sort these things. And here we go, porte de l'innocence. These are 2 ideal examples. This one's nice and early. It's when the dad says, never say that you're a Jew. Vous êtes juif, mais ne l'avouez jamais. Vous entendez jamais. Tu es juif, je? Non. Sa main a claqué sur ma joue en détonation sèche. Il ne m'avait jamais touché jusqu'ici. Ne mens pas, tu es juif, Joseph? Non. Voilà. So this is key because it's the first time his dad's hit him, which again is a nice little side on his dad and what it's like. How many kids were hit back in the 40s? I'd say every single one of them. My dad was beaten black and blue. He'd always tell us about it. Attitudes are different back then. So here he's never been hit by his dad, which shows you the gentleness and the sweetness of his dad. Why is he doing this now? To show how serious this is, to really hit home. And he has to do something, his dad, that he's never done before to his little boy, because he's got to treat him like a man to show him how serious and important this is. And over here, this is the other thing they do that's a bit lighter to talk about the loss of innocence. They take part in the black market. They do loads of things for the Italian soldiers. They swap like cigarettes for persil, what's that, parsley. So they do all of these trades, which shows you the loss of innocence and where they go from little boys to adult. Et finalement, la fuite et la peur. We've talked a lot about this. There's 2 nice examples here. This one is when they're captured and they go to Hôtel Excelsior. And this one here is right at the start when the dad talks about the fact that they've always fled, and he's got a horrible line in it. Where is it? C'est la chasse qui est réouverte, alors il faut repartir du cachet. So the hunt has restarted and we have to hide. So he makes it out like that. Animals hiding from huntsmen, and the fact that it's reopened is like it's a never-ending story of fleeing and fear, which if you read the history of the Jews is probably pretty spot on. And then here, this is when they come into Hotel Excelsior and he talks about sort of the atmosphere. Now the point for this is young kids are protected. They're not even allowed to watch certain films, and here you've got young kids who are experiencing this fleeing, fear. These are the 2 key things I want you to talk about when it comes to Bildungsroman. Young people shouldn't experience this, and all the niceness and the games and the innocence that is lost here. They have to experience things that even adults shouldn't experience, and that is the most important thing. Then link fear to hope l'idée de espérance, link it to fraternité, link it to the good in people, because the boys only survive and get through the end. They might lose their innocence, but they don't lose their lives. That'd be a really nice end to your essay. Right, guys? Alors, mes petits, right, guys, that's all for today. Excellent effort. You remember your revision for next time. So what I want is next flip homework is about the message of the novel. This is really where it comes together. You've got to do this. Do all the reading, do it properly, highlight, analyze, note down. Make sure you've done that before you watch the next video, and then complete the essay plans. And then I want one of your essays to me, please. Essay titles and write an essay to hand in to me for next Friday. It is untimed, so you've got all the time in the world to do it. Make it good, make it perfect. It could be your real exam question. You want to think back to this moment and make it good. Right, guys, excellent. See you next time. Alors, à la prochaine fois, mes petits. Au revoir.